Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Calid B, and we're back here with another episode of the Brand Review. Now, as I always like to do at this time, let me give you a quick recap on how things are broken down.
First, we'll look at the artist's brand identity and get an understanding of what makes their music and image stand out from the competition. Then we'll take a look at what's good with their brand and where it currently stands and discuss some of their brand extensions. And in our final segment, we'll discuss what's next. How can the artist take their brand to the next level?
Now that we've covered a few male artists for the Brand Review, I think it's about time we start showing some ladies some love. So for the first lady of the Brand Review, I'm happy to introduce the beautiful and talented, the one and only Archandroid. That's right, Janelle Monae.
Cause baby, whether you're high or low, or whether you're high or low, you got to chip on that tightrope. Chip on that tightrope. Baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to tip.
Janelle Monae is a genre-blending soulstress out of Kansas City, Kansas, whose career has had a steady progression since partnering with Bad Boy Records in 2008. However, Janelle's pursuit of musical excellence has been a lifetime journey, and she stated in many interviews that she's always wanted to be a performer since she was a little girl. Matter of fact, Janelle was recognized as a standout talent in high school and later received a scholarship to attend the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City.
In Atlanta is where she started her own label, Wonderland Art Society, with her friends Chuck Lightning and Nate Wonder. She then got her big break when Big Boy from Outkast discovered her talent after hearing her sing Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly at a local open mic event. Big Boy was so impressed by Monae that he featured her on his Purple Ribbon album, Got Perp Volume 2, and on the Outkast Idlewild album in 2006. Big Boy would then introduce Monae's music to Diddy, who was looking to rejuvenate Bad Boy Records at the time and bring more innovative artists to the label. Thus, the relationship between Wonderland Art Society and Bad Boy Records was born.
And once Monae signed with Bad Boy, many of her fans were skeptical whether the partnership would work, especially considering the fact that she didn't necessarily fit the Bad Boy mold, and, Diddy's history with artists was a little shaky at the time considering his reputation. However, both Diddy and Monae have repeatedly emphasized that this partnership is simply just that, a partnership, and that Janelle and her Wonderland Art Society team have total creative control, and that Diddy just wants to see their music and creativity reached on a broader platform. Janelle Monae's brand of music is really hard to define in just one genre, as she's able to easily navigate through different genres like R&B, pop, punk, soul, indie, Afro punk, whatever you want to call it, she can do it. Monae also puts on an incredible live show with her infectious energy and a classically trained voice. And one of the most recognizable elements of Janelle Monae's brand is her classic sense of style.
She is most known for her signature pompadour hairstyle and her formal black and white tuxedo garments that her and her band wears during performances. Monae has coined this look as her work uniform and says that she is paying homage to her working class parents who also wore uniforms daily for their jobs.
Her modest style is also a subtle message to young girls that you don't always have to wear promiscuous clothing and show a lot of skin to be loved. Monae has mentioned in a lot of interviews that she definitely wants to be a role model for young girls and has not shied away from the responsibility that comes with being an artist and a celebrity. So what's really good with Janelle Monae's brand? How is she leveraging her new platform to create opportunities for her and her Wonderland team? Although Janelle has not put out any new solo material since the Archandroid, she did land a small feature on one of the biggest records in the world last year, We Are Young by Fun. It not only won a Grammy for Song of the Year and hit #1 on the Billboard charts for several weeks, but it also garnered over 177 million views on YouTube, which helped expose Janelle Monae to an entirely new audience. In addition, I think that Janelle Monae's consistency is another major strength to her brand. She's not only consistent with her look and her message, but she also is consistent in not taking part in any controversial matters that might compromise her personal brand. This kind of reliability has already earned her partnerships with Gap in 2008 and more recently with Sonos and CoverGirl.
In 2008, Janelle was featured in the Gap Merry Mix-It campaign as she sang Winter Wonderland alongside the hilarious dance moves of Napoleon Dynamite's John Heder. CoverGirl also saw the value in partnering with Monae and announced her as their newest cover girl in September of last year. Both Janelle and CoverGirl found common ground in their mission to help women tap into what's uniquely special about them and expressing that with confidence.
Sonos, the wireless sound system company, also announced a partnership with Janelle Monae of October of last year.
Here at the Wonderland Art Society, we enjoy listening to music together. We really do appreciate experiences and having those musical experiences together. All I have to do is pick up my iPhone or my iPad or whatever device I have Sonos hooked up to and press a button, and I can group it, and it's playing in the kitchen, the living room, the studio, and the closet all at one time.
The campaign also included weekly giveaways from Sonos, in addition to exclusive video and music content from Janelle Monae. Now, it's hard to find a weakness in Janelle Monae's brand. However, since this is the brand review, I will be a little bit nitpicky and say that one of the areas in where Janelle can improve upon is clearly conveying the message that she wants to through her music. I feel that, her being able to jump from genre to genre with ease is not only a strength, but could sometimes be a weakness in the sense of passive listeners not being able to fully grasp or anticipate what they are expecting to hear on a full project from Janelle Monae. And it can be somewhat overwhelming for a passive listener the first time through a project like the Arc Android.
Whoa, another day.
And now that brings us to what's next for Janelle Monae. Janelle did recently mention that she's working on her follow-up project to the Arc Android LP, but she did not give a solid release date or a title. However, she did mention that the project will be produced primarily by her same team that produced Arc Android, the Wonderland Art Society. Janelle will also be tearing down the stage at Coachella this year, as she is slated to perform during both weekends. Now, at this point, I would like to bring in a good friend of mine. Now I'm starting to sound like Stephen A. Smith. A dear friend of mine, Miss Tiffany Hardin, who happens to be founder and CEO at the Guild Creative Group, a former colleague of mine at Translation LLC, and she also went to my school, Columbia College. So please welcome Miss Tiffany Hardin to the Brand Review. Thanks for joining us, Tiffany, here at the Brand Review, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to join us. I wanted to get your POV on Janelle Monae based off the accomplishments and success she's experienced so far. Where do you see her brand going forward, and where do you see her, jumping off from this point?
You know what's interesting about Janelle is that she's always done her own thing. I think that, she's a risk taker, and I feel like for this year, it's kind of a no-holds-barred year for her, I think. If you go to LA, you can drive down the Sunset and you see all these billboards for Sonos, and she's on them, and she's really just holding her own and staying true to her character, her brand, and herself. And I think one of the things that we can see as far as brand partnerships go for her is whether it's CoverGirl, Sonos, or anything else, Coke, water, whatever she may or may not be doing in the future, she's always going to do something that will incorporate her music, her style, and her natural flair. So I think that's what's exciting.
Do you feel that she may have some more appeal overseas and focus her attention internationally?
I think it depends on global marketing plans. Like, if the CMO of CoverGirl or any other product wants to have something that ties into their global marketing plan, then that's what will happen. I think, because Janelle does have a great footprint across the globe, and especially in the Europe market, then it only makes sense to me that she does more that way. If her audience is there, if that product is there, then it only makes sense for her to go international.
Gotcha. Do you think that her partnership with Bad Boy has helped or hurt Monae?
Doing that was from a brand perspective, not exactly the best idea. That's not what I would have done. However, I do believe that it took her into the next step of her career, and I do believe that the intention was there. Did not necessarily impede on her creative process because she already had such a very insular and very protected creative process. And if she was to go with anyone, she wanted to make sure she went with a label that would understand that and protect that. And I think Puff did a really good job of that. However, it may not have been the best fit for her from a label perspective. But however, it did get her to Atlantic, which I think is a good fit for her.
Now, in order to get fans more in tune to her story and, all the complexities within her content, do you think she could benefit from having more visuals?
You know what? I think she's so exciting on stage. She's so exciting when you talk to her. She's one of those artists that, I guess, stays in character,
Yeah.
But is very sincere when she does it. So, I think everyone would love to see videos from her. I mean, that's, everybody loves that. But at the same time, because she's so great at her art, she's been able to survive without doing a lot of videos. And I think because of the way she is and the type of artist that she is, if she does do videos, it's not going to be simple. They're not going to be simple videos where she's just in front of a camera singing. And there's storylines for mini movies. Like the last videos that I remember seeing her do, they were like mini movies. So, she's on her like Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal type things. I think that she should. It's not I don't think for her it will be. I don't think the perspective is a benefit. It'll be how can I best express this visually?
Right.
And the benefit will be to her as an artist, not necessarily because she wants to get the music out to an audience, which is the opposite of what hip hop does. They make videos because they have to.
Gotcha.
Not because the music is already, the music isn't there yet. You know.
I mean, that about wraps up my questions here. Is there anything you want to anything you want to shout out or you got coming up that you want to let the people know about?
Oh, well, I want to shout out my company, Guild Creative Group. When we worked together, it was at Translation, and that was a great learning experience for me over the past 5 years of my life. And, taking my music business opportunities from Violator and Translation and turning it into my own company has just been a very, very grateful blessing that I've been able to have. Chris Casanova is one of my artists. He is on his way out the door. He's been on 106 in Park. He's been twice. He's currently on Peter Rosenberg's New York Renaissance mixtape. Has a single called Like It's 88, so please look out for that.
Nice.
Also, Karen Civil. We have relaunched Civil TV on YouTube, so please go to Karen Civil TV on YouTube and check her out. We have a book coming out with Karen off our the Cash Money Content roster, which is called Live Civil, 101 Positive Affirmations for Everyday Living. So a little different from just living the hip-hop life. And, lots of other things coming down the pipe with our producers, Kenai Finch. He has a couple singles coming out daily. Check out the Kendrick Lamar's tape with The Jig Is Up and What's That Right on Time. Continue buying those records. And, lots more coming down the pipeline.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Tiff. I really appreciate your insight, and best of luck to all your endeavors with Guild Creative Group and your artist, Chris Casanova. Well, that about wraps up another episode of the Brand Review. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very anxious to see what Janelle Monae does with this next project, and I'm optimistic that she will soon reach that next level of mega stardom. So, Janelle, if you're watching, don't be hesitant to call me. My number is 614-33